What's up, guys? Today I want to break down the very best college football game I've ever seen from a quarterback prospect. And it's one you probably don't suspect. See, Drake Maye and his, I think, 15th ranked UNC Tar Heels, I think week 7 took on the 1-5 Virginia Cavaliers, and they lost. They lost on a last drive, last play of the game, interception by Drake Maye. He completed exactly 50% of his passes. And it's the best game I've ever seen a quarterback play. And I know what you're thinking. That's insane. You are lying. You are clickbait. Nah, I'll show you every play. I mean, it's like 42 minutes, so bear with me. But Drake Maye was 6 of 10 on deep passes, which is really good. 60% on deep passes, that's good. And when you throw 10 deep passes, it makes sense that your accuracy is going to be a little lower than usual. But he also had 7 drops in this game by my count. PFF said it was 5. I said it was 7. He also had 2 throwaways, maybe 3, depends how you count it. He was under pressure all game, and he just kept on making plays. Don't believe me? Check the film. Let's go. Let's get it going. We're going to start off with a routine throw. Nothing to it. A little play action. Throws deep. Has a man. Rare deep miss by Drake Maye. He leaves it out of bounds. This is not a good throw. He didn't put enough arm under it. He lost control. This pass also bad. So the deep pass, bad. We've got routine bad, and then a second bad in a row. And right here, people talk about Drake Maye's footwork a lot and blame his occasional inaccuracy on that. Here, I blame this on his hands. Watch what happens here. Watch, the ball kind of slips out of his hand, and it wobbles like a duck. It doesn't get a good spiral, and it goes wide. I think he has 9-inch hands. I think that he misplayed the ball because he has small hands. One way or another, it doesn't really matter. It's 2 bad throws and a routine throw. Here's 3rd down. Where's he supposed to go? So remember, I've gone over it in basically every video I've done. When a quarterback gets to the top of their drop, this is a 5-step drop, so he gets to the top of his drop, and he's supposed to hop one time, like a little bounce. It's 3rd down, so he's got to get to the sticks. The running back is not a viable option. Actually, now that you look at it, nobody's really at or past the sticks. This is a really pointless play call. There's nobody open. Everything is curls short. This is the Joe Lombardi with Justin Herbert and the San Diego Chargers special. There's nowhere to go with the ball. So Drake Maye figures, hell, it's 1-5 Virginia. I'll throw it away. We'll punt. We'll live to fight another day. So here's the next drive, and we get started with a routine throw. And another routine throw. Just to recap real quick, we've got 3 routine throws, 2 bad, 1 throwaway, and that throwaway had a plus pocket movement because there was nowhere to go. Here's 3rd down. Really good job to manipulate the pocket here, right? It's 3rd down. Virginia sends a blitz, kinda. They send an extra man off the edge. So they have 1 man on the right side of the offensive line to the top of the screen, and they got 3 dudes down below. So it functions like a blitz, even though they're only really sending 4 men. That's a simulated pressure. So Maye's front side is completely naked. He's got no protection. And he steps up to avoid the pressure, plus pocket move. Really good pocket awareness. And he takes off. Rather than messing around, he just runs and gets the 1st down. So that's a positive run with a positive pocket maneuver. Really encouraging. And that's the kind of play where I'm impressed with his pocket navigation, his pocket presence. Here, flea flicker, kind of weird because it's a completed pass and it's like 15 yards, but not great placement. Now, he had to sit his receiver down. Let's show you the wide copy. I'll show you why. So he's got 2 receivers in the same area, which means that he's going to have defenders closing in. And he'd rather sit his receiver down than throw him into the crowd, right? So he doesn't want to lead him too much. He wants his receiver to stop up. But he leaves the ball a little too high and a little too far inside, so it's not a great throw. It's somewhere in between routine and solid. And because it's Drake Maye and everybody thinks I'm too high on him, let's call it routine. It's still a 15-yard throw that's catchable, but it could have been placed a little better, made it a little easier. Now here, this is stupid. This is a stupid throw. It's 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line. Drake Maye ends up in the shotgun 5 yards back, so he's already at the 30. Let's go with the ball at the 28, 29. Laser, double coverage, splits the defense, perfect seam ball. That's an elite throw. You just don't get better than that. So through 2 drives, we've got that elite touchdown pass, 4 routine passes, 2 bad passes, a throwaway, a positive run, and 3 positive pocket maneuvers. Additionally, Drake Maye is so far 1 of 2 on deep balls. 1 was a touchdown, 1 he threw out of bounds. Here, plenty of time in the pocket, just throws the ball away. Right, top of his drop, where's he going to go? You can't throw into double coverage all the way across field from the far hash in college. That's not reasonable. And it's a 2-man route. So it's either throw the curl 60 yards across the field or just throw up a deep ball. This is a terrible play call. It doesn't work at all. And Drake Maye does the only thing he can do. Throws the ball away. It's a throwaway and a plus pocket movement. That's the best you can hope for that play. Here, on 3rd down, Drake Maye surveys the field. Doesn't really look like anybody's open. So to the extent that Drake Maye finds an open throw or a viable throw, that's really good anticipation. Here, he notices his crosser is going to come open, and he puts a perfect ball on him. Now, I know what you might be thinking. A lot of people are going to say, by the way, that's a great throw. People are going to think, that ball looked a little low. Receiver had to slide for it. And that's exactly what Drake Maye wanted, and I'll show you why. Right, so obviously very catchable, right? It's about to hit both of the hands. It's in the receiver's grasp. Now, the reason you want that ball low instead of high is because if it's low, the receiver can slide and protect himself, right? If it's up high, God forbid the ball's not perfectly thrown, he's going to get beheaded. And even if it is perfectly thrown, you're giving the cornerback, or in this case the safety, an opportunity to get back into the play. By throwing it low, Drake Maye prevents any of those externalities. The problem is he can't force number 6 to catch the ball, and he doesn't. So that's going to be it for that drive, and we're on to drive 4. And it starts off with another drop. Now, this ball's not placed perfectly either. It's a little behind the receiver. But Drake Maye's idea is, if I lead my receiver, number 4, this safety, is going to cut him in half. I need to sit him down, so I need to throw the ball towards his chest or back shoulder. And that's exactly what Drake Maye does. This ball is right on the body. This is right where Drake Maye wanted it. You could put it a little lower, but Drake Maye just got bit in the ass by putting the ball a little too low on the prior drive. So instead, he puts the ball right on the body. It hits the receiver directly in the chest, and it's dropped. People on Twitter told me that's a poorly thrown ball. It's behind him. There's a reason it's behind him. He's trying to make sure that his receiver doesn't get sawed in half by the safety. Now here, we got a little false start. C94, the defensive tackle, is already in the backfield before the snap. So Drake Maye knows he has a free play. He's only got one receiver going deep, and he's not winning at all, right? In yet another episode of the UNC offense makes no sense. It's 3rd and long, and they have one receiver going to the sticks. So Drake Maye has a free play. He's going to throw it deep, but obviously the cornerback is far deeper than the receiver. Your only hope is to try to throw some kind of jump ball. That's exactly what Drake Maye does, and he leaves it a little too short. No harm, no foul. We don't grade it. It's a free play, right? Drake Maye doesn't make that throw if it's a real play, but he knows they're offside, so he's going to get rid of the ball. And we'll give him a plus pocket movement for getting the ball off in the first place and for trying to take advantage of the penalty. Now on 3rd and 5, again, plus movement because he throws while being crunched. Let's see what he's got. Now we know he throws the ball deep, but we need to analyze his processing because we're trying to figure out how good Drake Maye is. Once again, there aren't that many routes going to the sticks. Can't throw here because he's never making it to the first down marker, and your coach is never going for it on 4th and 2 at his own 35. Can't throw this curl at the sticks because that's double coverage on purpose, and it's triple coverage by happenstance. Just not even remotely viable. You also can't really throw this in-breaking route to number 2 in the middle of the field because he's running directly into that gigantic crowd over to the top of the screen. This is a flood concept, and the problem with a flood concept is that occasionally you end up with all the defenders and receivers in the exact same area and nobody's open and there's nothing to do. Now on 3rd and 10, or 3rd and 5 rather, I wouldn't hate to see Drake Maye pull the ball down and run, but a linebacker in the middle of the field makes that a riskier proposition. Now, Drake Maye does find a solution he's got the safety over the top single high. He's got a receiver winning deep. Heave it up. You don't love to throw a deep ball or a jump ball on 3rd down. But as Tommy Pickles would say, a baby's got to do what a baby's got to do. And I think that's number 5. I think that's Devontae Walker. He wins pretty clean. Ball just hangs up there. Drake Maye didn't get enough on it because as he throws, he's being crunched. Right? He lets go of the ball at the 21-yard line, maybe 22-yard line, and he's being hit in the chest off of his back foot when he throws the ball. From the 21 to the 29, that means that while being hit and throwing off his back foot, Drake Maye launched the ball 50 yards, and that's not far enough. But it's pretty impressive. I mean, how far are you going to throw the ball when you don't get your arm over your body? You got a helmet in your chest, bruising your sternum, and you don't have your feet on the ground. Pretty impressive arm talent. And still catchable. It's a jump ball, but you would expect that your, best receiver has a decent chance at pulling that down. Now, typically for a jump ball downfield, I give it a solid grade, especially 50 yards downfield. However, it is Drake Maye, and I'm trying to be harsh. However, it was very catchable. And it was 3rd down, and he had a guy in his chest. We'll give him his plus pocket movement, and I'm inclined to give that a solid grade. I understand if you disagree, and I'll make note of that for the end of the video. On to the next drive. UNC's down 14-7. Drake Maye has the ball around midfield. Again, the ball placement could be better. But, you got to catch that ball. This is a routine throw to me. It would be a really good throw because it's 20 yards downfield, but the placement could be better. It's a little high. It's a little behind. Fine. Routine. Third down. Ball batted at the line. It stinks, especially because he's 6'4", but these things happen. It's a bad ball. Batted balls are bad balls too. But we note them because they're not indicative of accuracy, they're more indicative of decision-making and arm slot. Pocket presence. Here, Drake Maye bounces back nicely with a perfect throw for a long, long touchdown. Let's see if the tight copy gives us a nice view. I think it might not. Oh, no, it does. It's a perfect view. That is a handoff. Now, I know it looks easy because the receiver's open, but ball's released at the 30. Ball's caught around the 40. It's a 30-yard throw, and it couldn't have been more accurate. It's a handoff downfield. It makes Drake Maye 2 of 4 on deep throws, which is 50%, which is actually still pretty good. And I'm going to give that another elite grade. It couldn't have been placed better. Yes, he was open. But the reason that was a long touchdown instead of just a long possession catch is because of the perfect placement. Routine throw, nothing to speak on. Routine throw, nothing to speak on. Deep bomb overthrow. This one stings because he had him wide open, right? Drake Maye is at, let's call it his own 38. You got the slot fade. He's open. He beat everybody. Problem is Drake Maye threw it from the, let's call it 39-yard line to about the opposing 5-yard line. Unfortunately, Drake Maye threw the ball about 55, 60 yards. He should have thrown it about 50, 55 yards. What a shame. So it's inaccurate. It's a bad ball, but at least we get to see he's got the arm strength. The unfortunate thing is that he comes back and he misses again. Same thing. Wide open deep shot. This is one of the best deep passers I've ever seen, and he misses it. Another deep miss. That's 5 bad throws now, and he's only 2 for 6 on deep balls. Fourth and 6 in a tie game. 50-yard line. Top of his drop. He's got a deep throw. He's got it open. You could also check it down to the running back, honestly, in the middle of the field. You got a couple options. He gets scared off by the pressure and he makes a bad decision. So could he throw the ball to the bottom of the screen? Right here, yes, but see, the problem is the receiver is open and he's calling for the ball right here. But this is such a long throw, right? Drake Maye's got the ball at his 42, and if he's going to complete it, he needs to get it to about here. So he's got to get the ball from the 42 to roughly the 32 on the opposite hash. Let's quickly do some geometry, all right? That's 26 yards downfield. And from the far hash to the opposite sideline is going to be roughly 30 yards, right? So we know a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That means that this is going to be a 40-yard throw. And the 40-yard throw is something that Drake Maye can easily do. However, even Josh Allen would have a hard time throwing the ball 40 yards before this safety right here moves 5 yards, right? That window is insanely tight. So it's really not viable. Additionally, Drake Maye can't really throw the ball to this curl because he's in double coverage. And again, he can throw that ball. That's roughly a 25, 30-yard throw, but he can't throw it before these two defenders can take 3 steps, right? So that's not really viable. I mean, he could check the ball down to the running back here, but he's got to run, and by the time he starts running to escape the pressure, the running back is double covered. Now he can gun this ball to the receiver on the sideline at the top of the screen, and that's what he tries to do. And he's accurate, but he's so late that it's pickable. This is an interceptable pass, right? You see, he bails out, but it should have been intercepted. Pickable ball. Didn't get intercepted. Doesn't go in the stat sheet that way, but that is an interception-worthy play. Not because he's inaccurate, but because he panicked and made a bad decision on 4th down when nothing was open. Here, ball just gets away from him again. Bad throw. So far, this game's been really scattershot. Here's a routine throw. And not scattershot in terms of accuracy, but scattershot in that he's got a couple of amazing throws and a couple of really bad ones. This play, this is really close. This is heartbreakingly close. This will be his 7th deep throw of the game, and it is a foot too deep. But alas, it is bad. So now he's just 2 for 7 on deep balls in this game. And this ball is tough. So the reason that he throws this ball behind the receiver, it's on purpose. This is a jump ball, right? He says, Tez Walker, you're supposed to be a first-round pick according to Rivals and 24/7's high school grades on you. You are underneath the corner, right? So the corner is on top, and there's safety help over the top. So you can't throw this ball deep. You can't lead him. You have to put the ball up high and say, my receiver's got better ball skills in your corner, and it worked. This is a solid, if not great, throw. Now, remember, typically a jump ball is solid. However, this is not a typical jump ball. He's releasing the ball from the 15. It's going to the opposite hash, which we've established is about 30 yards, and the ball's landing at roughly the 47-yard line. A little bit more hypotenuse formula, or Pythagorean formula. It's 44-yard throw. It's a 44-yard throw that is in his receiver's arms. And then it falls out for no good reason. That's a great throw in my book, and I'm going to give Drake Maye props for an accurate deep ball. That was caught, or at least it should have been. Here on third down, Drake Maye shows off why he's such a great playmaker. Now, they're running kind of a weird version of Hank, where instead of on top having curls, they have deep outs. And nothing's open. So Drake Maye uses his legs, steps up, escapes pressure, that's a plus pocket movement, and then throws while running, like while midair, right before the line of scrimmage. That's 2 plus pocket movements. And he makes a really nice throw. It's routine because it's short and wide open, but it's a really good playmaking throw. So 2 plus pocket movements and a routine throw there. And here, again, this kind of stinks because it's first down. You want to be aggressive. Drake Maye hits a very solid throw across the field again, right, for another 20-yard downfield throw minimum. But he did have the streak on the top. And maybe you want to see him try that. But again, it is all the way across the field, so that would be another 50 or 60-yard attempt. We got another good throw on the sideline, really nice. And here, just some playmaking. Again, could have been a solid run, but instead, Drake Maye gets the ball out. I don't know how to grade this, really. But he creates another 5 yards with his brain and his creativity, his ability to handle chaos, right? I count that as a positive run. Here, another deep shot. And again, it looks underthrown, but that's on purpose, right? The receiver out on the outside is taking the top off the defense. He's dragging that defensive back to the end zone. And he's not open. 9 is not open on the deep shot. So Drake Maye throws it underneath, and he's intentionally sitting his receiver down. He's basically saying, don't get deeper. Deeper is where you get tackled. Stay right the hell where you are and catch this ball. And the receiver continues to back up and backs directly into the defensive back and gets the ball ripped out of his hands. It's a terrible drop. The third of the day so far. It's a very accurate ball. It's a great throw, and he's using leverage perfectly. You got to catch this ball. In fact, there's a lot of people who would argue in a lot of situations in the NFL that this ball was actually caught, right? He's got 2 hands on it and 2 feet down. Now, I don't think it's a catch, but damn, you got to hold on to this thing. That's a really bad drop. 3rd and 2 from the 35. Drake Maye uses his legs. Great run, really elusive. He's got good quickness. He's got better strength, but he's smart enough to know not to try to truck somebody when his team's obviously going to need him today. Here's a routine throw. You don't need to see what happens after. Next drive. This is terrible pocket awareness. This sack is purely on Maye. Now, 9 is kind of open. The backside of the play is way too far away to actually matter. The running back is open for the outlet pass. It's 2nd and 10. You can afford to throw the ball to the running back. Maye rolls directly into pressure. This is a negative sack. It's completely on Drake Maye. It's terrible pocket awareness, and that kind of thing does happen. So now it's 3rd and 18 because Maye did a poor job on 2nd down of managing his pocket, and they just throw a screen. Routine. Nothing to talk about. Next set of downs. Maye, guy in his face, makes a good throw. Receiver falls down. Right, so this is where the ball is released. We've established this many times. 30 yards across the field, 15 yards downfield. It's probably roughly, let's call it 20 yards downfield throw. The receiver just falls down on the button hook. Not Maye's fault. That's a good throw. See it again. Nothing wrong with the ball. Receiver just fell. If he's on his feet, he can take one more step and catch that ball. That's a solid throw, and he made it while getting hit, so you give him the plus pocket movement. Maye is starting to put some good plays together, despite the fact that they're not actually resulting in production. Here, a little play action, and notice that quick little head fake. This is so smooth. So right here, he's got a cornerback blitz, and 20 can just light Maye up, but look how Maye just kind of shimmy shakes, holds onto the ball while the guy jumps. Nice, very subtle pump fake. Waits for him to pass and then fires a rocket in there. That's a solid throw. That's an excellent pocket manipulation. Drake Maye is really stringing together some great plays here in a row. By the way, keep in mind, as Drake Maye throws another solid pass, they got 24 points in the third quarter. It's not like UNC's struggling to move the ball. They just can't get a stop. And then here on Maye uncorks a gorgeous elite deep ball. Touchdown. That's his fourth great deep ball of the day. He's now 4 of 8 on deep balls in the game. 50%. Not bad. And when you're trying 8 deep balls, it makes sense that you're going to have some accuracy issues relative to normal games. That being said, the play comes back for a hold. I didn't see a hold, but somebody found a hold. Where's the hold? It's the right tackle. Never mind. Yeah, that's a hold. Can't do that. But what a throw. The hold doesn't affect the fact that Drake Maye made a beautiful throw. So yes, the Tar Heels do not have 31 points on the board. However, Drake Maye did make a sick throw. Here, while being hit, unreal throw. This is a great throw. So he's at the top of his drop. Nobody's open to the read side of the field. So the read side is just he starts on the left, right? And it's 1st and 20, so he needs yards. He utilizes leverage. So this is what he's looking at right here. This safety is facing upfield, right? He's looking this way. And this receiver is running like that. But Drake Maye knows that if he puts the ball right around here, all this leverage is in his receiver's favor. So he leaves the ball behind on a back shoulder, Aaron Rodgers style, circa 2010. It's a great throw, and it's 18 yards downfield plus whatever, hash mark the sideline is, and he's getting crunched while throwing the ball. He's throwing the ball through contact like a G today. That's a great throw. Really heady, really talented throw. Here, makes something happen with his feet, 2+ pocket movements, and dumps it off for a routine throw. You tell me, was that a drop? Let's watch it again. The tight copy doesn't really show it. I think you got to catch that ball. Where is the ball? It's right behind that white dot that is number 5's hand. And there it goes squirting through his mitts. That's a routine throw, and it's not caught. And we've got, 5 drops now? That's not good. 5 catchable balls that were not caught. Now it's 3rd and 10. From the 10. That's really tough. Top of his drop, who's open? Kind of the guy running an out at the top of the screen. So Maye steps up, and with his feet in the air, not set at all, plus pocket movement for avoiding the hits, he actually hits the receiver on the hands. Watch this. This is actually an unreal throw. Again, he's evading pressure because his left tackle gets beaten like a bongo drum. Throws the ball 25 yards downfield with his feet in the air, and he places it on a pinhole in the end zone. Look at that. That is a gorgeous pass. Now, it's a step out of bounds. But holy shit! You grade it. I mean, yes, the receiver could not stay in bounds, but wow, the ability to make the throw in the first place. If that had been a little earlier and the receiver could keep his feet down, I'm calling that a great throw. I'm calling that an elite throw. But he didn't. So I got to call it bad. But if you're just trying to project how Drake Maye will look in the NFL, knowing he has the talent to, first of all, the brain to evade that pressure in the pocket, right? If he keeps his feet set, he's going to get hit while he throws, and he's not going to have an accurate ball all the way down the field. So he steps up, and without needing to set his feet so that he can get the ball off as quickly as possible, he lasers this thing. Probably 40 yards. 25 yards downfield, roughly 30 yards across field. And he puts it maybe a foot too far out of bounds for this receiver to keep a foot down. If that's Marvin Harrison Jr., that's a touchdown. If that's Malik Neighbors, if that's Brian Thomas, that's a touchdown. Hell, if that's Brendan Rice, that's probably a touchdown. If it's Tez Walker, it might be a touchdown. But it's not, so we call it bad. But what a play. Here Drake Maye moves, routine throw. Now, again, it's behind the receiver. No, the receiver's wide open. If Drake Maye leads him, he could run out of bounds. You put the ball a couple yards inbounds, let him catch the ball, stop, and turn upfield. That's perfectly placed. That's exactly where you want the ball. Solid throw, 15 yards downfield. Just a drop. Again. 6 drops on the day now. And that was placed perfectly. It looks behind, but he's just utilizing leverage. Now that one's bad. I mean, yeah, that one must have just slipped out of his hand. That's a terrible throw. There's no excusing that one. Navigates the pocket really well. Now, it looks like Drake Maye's got all the time in the world, but actually, where he's supposed to be standing in the pocket currently has 2 offensive linemen and a defensive lineman who is now their daddy. He steps up in the pocket, resets, and just gorgeous. Now, again, the receiver, yes, the receiver turns around. But you don't want to lead this receiver into his teammate and the defensive back that's guarding him. If you lead this receiver, he's going to run into a sign with his face first. And the sign is named a college athlete. So you stop him, you sit him down, you throw the ball from the 15-yard line to the 45-yard line, 30 yards on a dime. That's an elite throw. That's excellent. And that makes Drake Maye 5 of 9 on deep balls in this game. Drake Maye clean pocket. Doesn't get easier. It's only solid. It's really far downfield, but it's wide open and it's in the middle of the field. It's a solid throw, but it is like 25 yards, 30 yards downfield. That's lovely. That's perfect. If I could draw that play up every time, I'm going to be a happy offensive coordinator. We got 4 minutes left. UNC needs points. Quarterback keeper, and it doesn't work. This is kind of a triple option, right? So you hand the ball off if the running back has a lane. As you can see, the running back does not have a lane. So Maye was smart and correct to keep the ball. Now, the problem is you never expected when you drew this play up to have 2 defenders over here. You expected to have 1 defender who has to choose between hitting the quarterback and covering the tight end. Unfortunately, they passed the tight end off, and now Maye is saying, oh, no, I'm going to get hit. And he actually finds a way to go down without taking too bad of a crunch. So that's a neutral run. There's really nothing he can do. The play just didn't work. Now again, UNC down 4, 3 minutes and 33 seconds left, ball on the 20, 2nd and 12. This is crunch time. Oof. Now, top of the drop, who's open? Nobody's really open, right? 9 is going to come open later, but the ball's already out of Maye's hands, so everybody has stopped playing football. That said, Maye needs to hit 0, I believe that is, in the hands. This is the middle of the field. It's open. It's a tight window, but you got to drive that ball in there, and he just leaves it behind him. Now, I don't know if he's trying to sit him down and think like, okay, don't continue your route because you'll run into coverage. Stay where you are and just catch this ball. But even as it is, it's still too far behind. So the receiver did a really bad job of drifting, continuing his route when he should have sat, but Maye does a bad job of placing this ball. Here it is, perfect. So Maye is looking to put this ball right here, right? Because if this receiver continues to run, he's going to run directly into number 7. But if you leave it behind, 5 will crunch him. So you put the ball right in this circle. And the problem is the ball does not go in the circle. The ball goes a little low, receiver drifts. Now, honestly, upon the tight copy, remember the circle is exactly where we want the ball, right? The ball is in the circle. The receiver just drifts. In fact, I'm revising my grade. This is a good ball. This is actually kind of exactly where you want this ball. Check this out. So you see 0. You can't continue your route across the field because you're going to run into the referee and you're going to run into number 7. So you have to stay where you are. You can't go upfield because there's a safety. You can't go backwards because of number 5. So just stop moving. Literally take a knee and catch this ball. The receiver looks at the ball, and it's low, but it's intended to be low. If you leave it up high, your receiver gets crunched. If you leave it up high, there could be a tip drill. If you put it low, you're protecting the ball and your receiver. That's the Tom Brady special. And the receiver just continues running. He has a brain fart. If he gets down on a knee, he catches that ball easily at the 10. It's a first down, and they're playing with house money. That's a good throw. And I didn't notice that until today. When I previously graded this game, I called that a bad throw. I was wrong. Here, top of the drop, who's open? There's your bounce. Right here is where Drake Maye has to let go of the ball. Now, this guy's kind of open. This linebacker is close, but I don't think he can really make a play. Number 9's hips are facing that way, so he's basically screwed. And this guy's too far away. Drake Maye can throw that ball. The problem is that Drake Maye is looking to his right. He's looking at number 9, and number 9's not open because you certainly can't get the ball over number 23 here, and even if you do, you can't go deep because of this safety. So he's kind of painted himself into a corner because he's processed poorly pre-snap. Let's quickly go and see what he saw pre-snap that made him look this way. So pre-snap, Drake Maye sees 4 defenders kind of in a shell formation, right? It kind of looks like it's going to be cover 4. This being the case, he's thinking they're going to play off coverage. I'll take the curl to my number 1 receiver, right? Because it's going to be number 9 running a curl on the top and then just curls in the middle. It's basically a Hank concept. And against cover 4, you just want to take the best curl. Run the film. It works out exactly like we planned, except we didn't anticipate this number 23 jumping the route. Number 23 read the tea leaves and figured out that he's just got to squat. This defensive back also squatted, but he squatted too far upfield, so there's actually a small window to the left. There's obviously no window in the middle where there's double coverage on a curl to the middle of the field. You never throw that. Drake Maye pulls the ball down because the pocket has completely collapsed. That's a good plus pocket movement, and now there's nobody open, and it's way too late in the down. So what's he supposed to do? Well, he anticipates, and he does a scramble drill, and he throws a freaking gorgeous pass. Please watch what he ends up doing. He reads, he looks right, it's not there. He looks middle, it's not there, it's too tight. So he rolls out because he knows he needs to buy time as his center gets bull rushed into his crotch. He resets the pocket from a contorted position at the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25-yard line. He launches this pass into the back of the end zone, and it's perfect. Look at this. This is an elite pass from an altered platform. Holding. Defensive back grabs the left arm of the receiver, so you can only get one hand on the ball. And it's directly in his palm. That is such an incredible throw. It is Drake Maye's 6th, yes, 6th, accurate deep ball out of 10 attempts. Look at that positioning. If number 9 isn't interfering with the pass by grabbing the left arm of the receiver, that's a catch. Let's watch it one more time. That's 30 yards downfield off of no feet, contorting, moving the pocket, and he's getting left to dry. Now here, 4th down and 12, and they draw up 4 verts. They draw up 4 verts from the 20-yard line against obvious cover 4, right? This is the dumbest possible play. You know they're going to run shell prevent coverage, which means everybody's going deep. Just make sure you don't get beat to the end zone on a jump ball or a streak. And all they do is run streaks. Everybody's covered obviously and easily. Nobody has any leverage, and Drake Maye moves up in the pocket. Again, another pocket manipulation. And actually fires a really accurate pass, as you'll see on the tight copy. This totally could have and probably even should have been caught by a star receiver. Here's the ball. Let's look at it one more time, slow-mo. I wish the resolution was better on these All-22 cameras. I don't make them. Don't blame me. But that ball goes through the fingertips. Now, it's a tough catch. But if that's Brian Thomas, if that's Brendan Rice, if that's a true NFL starting wide receiver instead of Devontae Walker, who has drop problems, that's probably a catch. And it's pretty much the only place that Drake Maye can really put that ball where it has a shot of getting caught. That's a solid throw. For nothing. But there's a little bit of justice in this world because Drake Maye gets one rebuttal. Minute and 12 to drive the field, score a touchdown, and win the game. Can he do it? We'll start off with a routine throw while being hit. Plus pocket movement, routine throw. Tick, 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 tick. What the hell is he supposed to do? I guess he could throw across his body late in the down to the middle of the field, but that's like rule number 1, never do that. So he doesn't. He runs around. Notice how nobody's getting deep, right? Like on the scramble drill, you're supposed to have people trying to win deep or across the field, and everybody just kind of stops and stands. Like 5 is literally just hanging around. Look, he's got his hands up in the air like, oh, I'm open. First of all, you're not. Second of all, you're 80 yards away from him, homie. Move towards the quarterback. Get downfield. Get across the field. Get closer. Drake Maye finally rolls back, and he throws a dime. That's incredible playmaking by Drake Maye. That is 2 plus pocket movements again because he rolled to the right, and then he came back to the left, and then he made an accurate throw into tight window. This is sick. This is playmaking. This is the kind of stuff that people get really excited about when Caleb Williams does it. Drake Maye is doing it in crunch time, in the clutch, on a fourth quarter game-winning drive, or at least an attempted one. Clean pocket, loads up, solid throw. Right? A lot of zip on that ball, a lot of drive. Release was a little long, but I don't care because he's got the time in the clean pocket. And he anticipates well enough that it's okay. He drives a ball with perfect placement down the field. A lot of really good placement in this game. Here, tons of time. What's everybody doing? We're standing around. Nobody's getting deep. It's single high safety coverage. Run deep, dude. Nobody runs deep. Drake Maye's just hanging out, and he's got to throw the ball away because nobody wants to play football. If you're gassed, get off the field. That's a throwaway and a plus pocket movement because it certainly isn't Drake Maye's fault. There was just nothing to do. And here the game ends because nobody can protect the boy. Right off the blind side, Drake Maye hasn't finished his drop yet, and he's already about to get hit. Right? 1, 2, didn't get to 3, and he's being hit. Less than 3 second sack. Nobody's come out of their break. Drake Maye hasn't gotten to the top of his drop. Hit while throws. Intercepted. It's a bad throw. Now, it's not an interceptable throw because he's being hit. It's not his fault. But it's a bad throw. You can't let the ball go when you know you're going to be hit. And if you do, you can't throw over the middle. Although it looks like he's actually trying to throw to the left. He just gets hit with the ball in the air, and it's a bad throw. It's not pickable, right? He didn't make a bad decision. He wasn't inaccurate. The ball just got hit on his throw because the left tackle got destroyed. And that's how Drake Maye will lose this game. Not because he blew it, but because he got intercepted due to his left tackle's failure and the fact that the Tar Heels just didn't run any downfield plays prior to that play. Hate to see it. So, upon rewatching, I actually gave Drake Maye a better grade than I did before because it turns out one of the balls that I thought was a stinker that was inaccurate, it was perfectly placed. And it would have been a first down with about 2 minutes left in the game, and Drake Maye would have had the ball at the 5-yard line to win the game. Would have been a pretty nice thing. 20-plus pocket movements, just constant pressure. Took 1 sack that he really shouldn't have, but otherwise excellent pocket navigation throughout the whole game. Really good as a runner, really good as a playmaker, and yes, he had an interception, and yes, he had a dropped interception. But the second interception wasn't his fault. So I noted during the video, there's one play that I thought it was solid. You could call it routine. Okay, so knock that down. And maybe you're a real harsh jerk and you're going to count the second interception against him. You're going to say, nah, he should have known better than to try to throw the ball when he was being hit, despite the fact that there's less than a minute left in the game and they have no timeouts. And the clock will just continue to run and they're not at midfield yet. Maybe he should have known better. call it a pick, knock the solid down to routine. It's still a remarkably good game. He was accurate on 76% of his aimed passes, right? So the 50% completion percentage, it doesn't tell even a little bit of the story, right? 50% completion. But now you take away 2 incomplete passes that were actually throwaways. You take away about 6 or 7 passes that were either dropped or should have been pass interference, like the one in the end zone. 50% turns into 76%. 76% is really good. It's a very accurate game, especially because incredibly he threw deep downfield 10 times. 4 elite throws, that's a ton. 7 great throws, that's a ton. 12 solid throws, that's a ton. 12 routine throws, that's actually very few. 12 bad throws, and some of them just got away from him. He had one that slipped out of his hand for sure, and probably 2 more that did. And when you have small hands, that's going to happen. So, right, we don't say it slipped out of his hand because we're trying to wash it away like it didn't happen. We say it because it means his footwork wasn't the problem. He's not wild with his mechanics. He just has little hands. You can work on that a little bit with grip strength. You can maybe wear a glove if you want. I wish he had bigger hands. I really do. It kind of upsets me because otherwise he'd be the immaculate prospect. But alas, his pocket management was great. His playmaking was awesome. He was good as a runner. What more did you want from him? You want him to win. I know. He scored 27 points despite all the drops, despite a touchdown getting taken off the board for a holding that didn't need to happen and didn't affect the play. Drake Maye did his job. His offensive line let him down in a few key spots. His receivers let him down in like 7 key spots. If you just look at the score, you're going to be upset because they lost to a bad team. And if you just look at the box score, you're going to be upset because he didn't complete more than half of his passes in a day and age where 70% is pretty normal. But if you watch the film, like we just did, that game blew me away. So until next time, I'm going to keep grinding film, and Drake Maye is going to keep being my quarterback 1 ever. Asta.